QTNA. What is up, everybody? It is Women's History Month.
Woohoo! Go women!
Yes, go us, go women. In honor of Women's History Month, we have been choosing to highlight it POC women, business owners, and entrepreneurs. I am Jayhlin Michelle, but you can call me Jayhlin, one of two hosts of QTNA, that's Questions That Need Answers. And my amazing, beautiful my amazing, beautiful co-host is right here with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bella Bright. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a second. I'm super happy. And we have an amazing guest today.
Yes, can we go ahead and give a drum roll for the fashion stylist, designer, and agency owner, Jordan Vorise.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
So, first things first, we always want to start off with a question that needs answering. So, my question for you was, when was the moment that you knew your passion was your passion?
That is a really good question. So I'm from a really small town, right, where you don't have, just to put into perspective, there's not even like a big mall there, like a super, super small town. So it took me to move to Houston to understand that there were people that had minds like mine. And it also took those same people to tell me like, hey, you're really good at this. So it was just surrounding myself with like-minded individuals. So it was probably around the time when I was about to graduate from Texas Southern. Okay. And I was getting really, really into just like the arts and the scenes. And then that's kind of when I realized I had something special. So kind of in that interim between like graduating high school and graduating college when you're really, really finding yourself.
What was the small town? I'm curious.
Lake Jackson, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Lake Jackson, Texas. Okay, so if you are going down 288, past Pearland, past Rose Sharon, past Angleton, all the way down there, that's Lake Jackson, Texas.
That's crazy. I live in Missouri City.
Okay, so you know.
I don't know about Lake Jackson, Texas, though. It is a small town, but that's character, honestly. Yeah. Okay, what about you? When did you know that your passion was your passion?
I have this crazy feeling that I've always known. I just knew that like whatever it was, I wasn't ready for it yet. So it's like I knew who I was as a human being, but I was not that at all. But I was like, yeah, but like this is the origin story. Like I haven't unlocked the potential yet. And it wasn't until I finally felt like I was like, oh, life actually started. Because then it's like, now what I know is in practice. And it's like, oh my God, I'm Bella Bright.
I always love when I hear you talk about how you thought about yourself back then, because you always talk about it like you knew yourself to be a character and everything around you was a movie. So it's always really interesting hearing you talk about that. I do
definitely, like, my life was definitely a movie in my head the whole entire time.
So for me, I would say the time that I realized my passion was my passion would be in elementary school, circa 2000 something, and I was dealing with a lot of bullying all the time.
You were bullying people?
No. I was dealing with bullying.
Oh, you were being bullied.
I was being bullied heavily.
I was about to say, Jayhlin, that's so unlike you.
I'm not a bully.
Yeah.
I was bullied heavily.
Wow.
And I was going through a lot at home, and so I was always super angry. I used to be very angry. And I was like, I had a diary, and I started writing in my diary every day. And then I started writing poetry. And I wrote this poem about being sad and feeling like no one understands you, but it was from the viewpoint of a mustache on a man. And I still have that diary, and I look back at it, but my passion is love. My passion is just creating environments where people feel loved and welcomed, and they feel open to be vulnerable. And it's always been my passion. And I knew from that moment where I would start writing poetry, and I wrote a little book for my classes about bullying and stuff like that. And it was like, yeah, this is it. Making people feel good. That's what I want. But with that being said, we will be back with more learning about Jordan. We'll be back. Okay, welcome back, y'all. We just finished talking about when was the moment that you realized your passion was your passion. And here we are with Jordan Vorise. I actually met Jordan probably about like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's been about 2 years.
It's been about 2 years. I worked on a project with her because she is a designer. I just want to ask you, where was your start? When was it styling? Was it designing? What was the first thing that brought you to where you are now?
So in about 2017, I went through a really, really bad breakup. Breakups change lives.
It seems like breakups are the start of everything.
They are.
Oh
they
my
are.
goodness.
So I went through a really bad breakup, and for some reason, I'm like, I have to do something to distract myself because this is hard. Okay.
Yeah.
So I knew I loved clothes. I had just got a really, really good job. I'm like, what can I do? Loved events, loved planning. I was like, let's do a fashion show. Boom. So that's where Millennial Merch, just the fashion show, started.
Okay.
So I'll say about 2017.
Okay, so just in case you guys don't know, Millennial Merch is her agency for fashion, design, and multiple other things. That is so amazing. Actually, the last person that we had on the show said the reason why he started making music was because of a really hard, tumultuous relationship he was in and the breakups that come from that. So, what do you feel like you have learned about yourself from that first piece that you designed, that first fashion show that you put together, to you now?
Wow. I feel like I've learned that you can accomplish anything you want with a good team, research, and just faith. Knowing that you can do it and knowing that you're capable of it, it just may take time. It may take resources that you may have to, wait for. That, I think those are the biggest things that I've learned. After every show, I try to step back. I live in the moment for a little bit, but then I step back and I'm like, okay, what can I do better next time? So a lot of reflection and knowing that I'm not perfect. That's a hard thing for me because I try to be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
But also understanding that I'm a human and that each time I can just do better next time. So I think those are going to be the biggest things I've learned about myself. I've also learned to be patient. That's something I've struggled with.
That's hard.
I struggle with patience. And then I've also learned that I have a gift and I can use it. And then I've learned not to be afraid. I've learned to talk about myself. I've learned to push my product. I've learned to do all these things. There was a time when I was scared to post because I'm like, oh, I'm posting too much. I'm getting on people's nerves. Or, oh, I don't want to ask this person for anything. What if they say no? There's just all these fears, but fear can just totally deplete your dreams. And that's not fair to us.
Yeah.
We were put on this earth to live our dreams. So, yeah.
So this is kind of a question for all of us, but where do you guys feel like those, because I know we've talked about those experiences too, of feeling like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, or I don't know if I should be doing this. Like, where do those doubts and those feelings come from? What place does that come from?
Comparison for me, well, for everyone, comparison is the thief of joy. That is the biggest, that's so true. In the beginning, when I first started, I had so much fun because I wasn't looking at what anybody else was doing. I was just like, let's just do this the way that I think it should be done. So ignorance was bliss in a sense.
Yeah.
So when I started to learn more and go to other shows and watch more shows and watch how other people were doing things, I was like, okay, wait, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way, or maybe I shouldn't have done this or that. And there was a time in 2021 where I was like, I can't do this. It had taken everything away from me. So I definitely think that comparison has instilled a lot of fear into me, but I think having a daughter took that away.
I was about to ask, what changed that for you?
Yeah, having a daughter, because I think about all the ways that I felt that were negative, and I never want her to feel those ways. So if I can be an example, because my kid is going to do what I do, not what I say. So I have to be an example. So,
that's beautiful.
I'm so happy you understand that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you understand that.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'm telling you this.
But I'm sitting here watching you
doing something else, and you're surprised why you are literally a product of your environment.
Absolutely.
So, what about you, Bella? Where do you think that comes from for you?
Something that what?
Where do you think that comes from for you?
Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm at such a transformative part of my life that I'm not sure about anything right now. And that's really scary for me to admit. I'm somebody who needs control over everything. And so it's even just the understanding of why I'm feeling some type of way, even if I don't have a control over that. I love to intellectualize. So it's I can't even do that for myself now. So I'm taking the opportunity here to learn from you guys. And that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, period. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like for me, the place of doubt definitely comes from comparison as well. I sing. So growing up, me and my sisters would all sing together. And it was always fun. My older sister ended up being like the leader of us all the time. And it was really fun. And we actually went to school and did choir and did sight reading and all of those things. But once it came to like high school, really middle school, I wasn't in those classes anymore. But my sisters were still getting classically trained. And even now they're in school for classically trained vocalism. And so when I hear them, I am instantly like hearing all the faults in myself. And those comparisons come from those people that you love. But now I'm in a place where I'm just like, at the end of the day, I have so much beauty and amazing, talented people around me. And I don't want their talent to take away from my talent because it's not the same. We're different people. We're everybody up here. We all have our own talents, and sometimes they may be the same, but we're all different people, so we have different perspectives. It will never be the same. And that's the beautiful thing about life. We were talking before this, and Bella was like, what did you say? You said like, I wish we had all the same like body types or something.
Yeah, I think it would be so interesting how different the world would be if we were all the same height. You know, how differently it would change the fashion industry.
I just feel like that would be so boring.
It would be boring, but then imagine how much different we would be because now we're more aware of the small differences, you know? It's like whenever there's a lot of big differences, you're not paying attention to the details. But if everyone's the same height, imagine how more intensely we're looking at the shape of your fingernails.
But I mean, look at SpongeBob when he turns into Bob and all the houses are the same.
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid. I don't know the reference. I'm sorry.
That's really sad.
Yeah. You got a lot of catching up to do.
I'm actually planning on watching it this weekend with my boyfriend. So I'm gonna start watching it.
Girl, there's some serious lessons in there.
Yeah, I know it's like Bible, and I need to catch up. You're missing it all. SpongeBob is one of the main religions.
You're missing it all. Well, guys, comparison and is the thief of joy. Thank you for reminding us of that. We will be right back. After the break, we're going to get to know some more. So stay tuned, guys. Welcome back, everybody, to QTNA. We were just talking about comparison and those times of like the past of whenever you're creating something and you might not feel that confident in it, but just like things are changing for you and you're just putting yourself out there. So now I'm interested to know a little bit about your creative process of like getting out of that spunk. Now you're here, you're creating. What does that look like for you?
So one perspective is something that I've had to learn how to understand, like shifting your perspective, if you will. So you can take comparison as the thief of joy, but you can also compare in a way to understand like there's all these designers out here and they're all doing something different. So I'm just going to add to that different, right? So when it comes to my creative process, in like a spiritual sense, I start with things that I'm inspired by. I try not to watch any shows. I try not to, I mute certain things on Instagram because I'd rather be inspired by like things that I see in my daily life or things that have happened to me in my past.
Oh, really good tips.
Yes. Or like my grandma or like my mom or just, you know, other things versus things that I'm seeing like right at this present moment. So I have to take like and it's always during the most fun fashion weeks, but I have to take like a little break, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that I'm designing from my spirit. But like my physical process is I'm a big sketcher. Like my iPad is my baby. I sketch on my iPad, I color, I draw. And that also releases like my inner
Oh,
child. And my inner child is like the thing that's fueling all of this, truly, because with your inner child comes imagination.
Oh, that's okay. I
love that.
Yes, I'm really feeling you because I talk about that as well of like the importance of being with your inner child because that's where you have the most fun. So you said your grandma, and that brings me to your collection that was showcased in the fashion show that happened. If you want to give a little bit more info about that fashion show that happened and the inspiration from your family. For
sure. So the fashion show was titled Origins. It was a collaborative show between me and my best friend, Josh. Shout out to Josh.
Love Josh. He's a Sag.
What? He's He's amazing.
Are you a Virgo?
I'm a Libra.
I was wrong.
Okay,
I'm a
but
Libra.
I was
right next
close.
to the sign.
Close.
I was
Yeah.
close.
I was already I've been designing my collection. It's been about 2.5 years now since I
Oh my
designed my first
gosh.
piece.
Also, this is gonna be
And
good.
then I got pregnant. I was like, whoa, what am I gonna do? But then I was like, anything I want is like the answer to that, right?
Okay, but wait. Before we move past that though,
Uh-huh.
because you made that sound so simple, so easy. But like, what was that process of like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. What am I gonna do? To going back to, you know what, I got this.
Perspective shift once again. I'm pregnant, so that means maternity leave.
Big screen.
Yes. So I used that time. I'm like, okay, now I know that I'm pregnant. I should be giving birth around this time. I'll have this amount of time to have a show. This is what I need to do. Mm-hmm. So just for anybody that's like wanting to do anything, if you don't have a plan, you're already behind. So like when I found out I was pregnant, almost instantly, it's like, okay, I know I have to make a plan. Even if you don't stick to it all the way, as long as you have the skeleton of it, you can figure out the rest along the way. So that was kind of my thing there. There was a time when I thought I was going to do it on my own, and I'm like, I can't do it on my own. But I knew I didn't want to do another millennial merch type show where it's like a showcase of 10 or 12 designers, because I wanted to be a little selfish. So I just looked within, and within I have Josh, and he was so amazingly talented, who deserves the stage, and sometimes forgets that he deserves the stage. So I'm like, let's uplift each other to the finish line, and that's exactly what we were able to do. So that was in December. Now my grandma, Lula Mae Vorise, she was a force, and I know that's super, super cliche, but that woman could and would do everything if she could, right? If she could do everything on her own, she absolutely would. She was so adaptive. She was firm, but everybody loved her. She could cook, she could clean like nobody I know. She was always dressed. She was a housekeeper for a very, very wealthy family, and that's who taught her luxury, and that's who taught her presentation. Right. And so she just passed that on to us. Like, God forbid you don't have on earrings, or like you don't have your nails done, or you're missing a nail, or like even when I would come visit her and my suitcase wasn't packed correctly, she'd be like, you're not doing this right. And it wasn't her being mean. It was her wanting the best and wanting me to be malleable and wanted me to be shaped into a woman that knew how to take care of herself. So she just passed down generations of love for clothes, love for presentation, love for looking good because it made her feel good. So every generation it just gets worse and worse, right? Like my grandma is diva, my mom diva, me diva, my daughter. So it's just been such a cool transgression of just the beauty of who she was. And so we're also living in her legacy. Like, look what she left me, you know?
Beautiful.
So it's such a blessing.
That's very beautiful.
I also wanted to like ask something, like circling back to the competition vibes, right? I was watching an interview recently about Bill Murray, I think. And he said that competition shouldn't be against other people, it should be with other people, where it's like, you're like, I can do this, can you do that? Okay. And they're like, well, I did this, can you do that? Was that kind of the vibe that you had with the show? Because I know that whenever you work with somebody, like whenever I think of that, I primarily think of my sister because I've worked with her the most. Where it's just like everything that she does is just something that I'm not good at, and everything I do, she's not necessarily good at. But it's always but I'm not her. You know? How did you? Because you were trying to be selfish with it, but how did you navigate like the right kind of competition?
Oh, that's such a good question, because oftentimes, like, people say don't work with your friends because
they do say that. Don't work, don't live. I've done that.
So we've all kind of, But with Josh, I had no fear because I knew that we have this understanding. It's like telepathy. So Josh is a twin, in case y'all don't know. But
I didn't know he was a twin. I'm a twin. I didn't even know that. We didn't even talk about that.
Right, he's a twin.
You should start with, hi, I'm a twin.
I tell him that same thing too. We were friends for like a year before I knew. I'm like,
wait, that's okay. That's insane though. A year? That's crazy.
Because you know why? Our relationship is so personal to us. It's like the show allowed us to find out certain things about each other. Does that make sense?
Wait, y'all found out?
We found out other stuff, like familial things.
Okay.
I found out he was a twin because he's like my brother. I'm like, wait, hold on. You look super much alike. Yes. So, but even deeper things as far as like upbringings and things things through the show, but when it comes to our relationship, it's so personal that sometimes the things of like our upbringing and things, I don't want to say don't matter, but they're not at the forefront. It's just like you give me you in the most vulnerable way and I give you me in the most vulnerable way. Like it's not anything about who you think you are because of things that have happened to you. Like I'm gonna receive you my way, and I love my Josh. That's my sweetest person. So I won't lie, there was days when I'm like, Josh, I can't do it. He's like, I got it. And then there's days, vice versa. Competitive, I'd say more so balanced than anything, because without question, I would take care of things and he would take care of things. So it was just super, super balanced.
Yeah.
And then there was just so much understanding. I was super, super pregnant. There was days I couldn't. Even after I gave birth, we were still going on like a promo run kind of thing.
That is so crazy that all of this is going on and like you're pregnant, giving birth, recovering from pregnant. Oh my gosh, women can do anything.
That was that's the beauty of it all. That's the beauty of it all. So I think that me and Josh also have so much respect for each other and each other's talent and each other's art that it was just like a no-brainer. Like it was just the easiest decision. Whereas anybody else, it would have been something I'd really, really have to think about. But I asked him, I said, Josh, will you please do a show with me? And if he would have said no, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh, wow.
No.
Life-changing moment right there.
So he was my backbone. Is my backbone, yeah.
Shout out Josh.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out Uday. We're gonna be right back. Enjoy the break.
Hello everyone, I am Bella Bray and you're listening to QTNA. That's questions that need answers on your favorite Houston radio station, Amazing 102.5. Let's bring back the air horn. Let's bring it back. Let's bring back the air horn. That's what we should do.
Okay. Yeah, we should. We've been talking about this for 2 years to have a soundboard.
No, since the beginning of
where we can be like beep beep.
Yeah. I just need to get a real air horn.
We need a MIDI board.
At this point.
At this point, we're going live. We're going. Everyone in the whole entire campus is just gonna be like.
Okay, but we're closing, so we need to stop talking.
Oh right. Yeah.
Okay, so we are closing out this episode, unfortunately, and I'm so sad about it. But before we close, I'm just getting to know a lot about you, and I'm learning that a lot of what you do is because of the people around you and your community, which is a beautiful thing. So what do you feel like is the importance of having a community in what you do?
It's of the utmost importance. Because this is not easy. Like living your dreams is not easy. So even just having someone remind you like you're doing a great job. You know how far that goes? Like you're doing a great job, or wow, I'm so impressed, or wow, this was beautiful. Like that's like a hug without, and then you give me a hug on top of that. It's like, okay, yeah, we're done. Already. Yeah, we're done. So I think community is super important because everybody can play a different role whenever you are lacking. I'm not going to be 100% every day. So sometimes I need people around me to kind of give me the rest of that. And then also when they're not 100% to do the same. So I think the biggest thing about community is reciprocating whatever you feel like your community is giving you, give it back.
I love that. I love that. And next, just share where people can find you if you have anything new coming up.
Yes. So first things new coming up. I haven't announced it online yet, but on Saturday I'm actually having a Vorise pop-up at Tadima.
Wait,
in the Heights.
Like tomorrow?
No, next
Saturday? Today's Friday.
Saturday. So on the 15th, I'll be having a Vorise pop-up at Tadima. It's in the Heights. It's connected to a super cute coffee shop. So come hang out with me. It'll be super personalized. We'll have some drinks that are inspired by my upbringing, some food inspired by my upbringing.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Come touch the clothes, come feel the clothes, I wanted to feel like my grandma's house. So when you walk in, you might get a little vibe.
I already know her.
I am loving this so much. That's just so beautiful. I love that.
Thank you. And if you want to find me, my personal Instagram is Vorise Chantel, VORISE CHANTEL, and then Vorise is Vorise.x. That's the Vorise Instagram.
I'm realizing I've been saying your name all
It's
wrong.
Okay. That's the joy of it. That's why I like
How were you saying it?
Vorise.
But if you think about like a lot of these brands that are these couture brands, they have complex.
That's true.
And so I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because I'm thinking of changing my artist name because right now it's Jayhlin Michelle, and it's like, that's boring. But I was thinking about changing it to my Instagram, Lovely Human, and I was like, I like the idea of like someone being extremely confused by like by the meaning of something or like how you say it. Like it's like, yes, be confused.
Yes,
I like that.
That's art. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, your turn, Bella. Something to leave off the people with.
I'm going to leave everyone off with go outside. Today is some good weather. I know that it's nighttime when you guys are watching this because you're watching this live, obviously. But you know, even at night, it's nice to be outside. And tomorrow's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is a great time to go out to the park. Don't take your car if you're going to Herman because you know that the parking sucks.
You're giving away multiple nodes of information, and time is running out.
I'm telling you exactly how to enjoy your time. You're welcome.
My quote comes from Charlie XCX. Girl, it's so confusing sometimes being a girl. Thank you. You can find us on Instagram at We Have the QTNA, and make sure you guys tune up to us next Friday, every Friday at 6 p.m. And if you were not able to catch the live in radio, you can catch us on YouTube. Link in our bio. Peace out. Till next time. Bye.